Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I got quite a few viewers on here, and we're going to be back on here in just a minute. As soon as the countdown finishes, we're finishing up our final setup on the things we're going to show you and talk about. So hang in there, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you and talking with you. You're going to see some neat stuff.
It's a.
Hello, everybody. Hang on just a minute. I got to get my headset on here where I can hear you.
Hello, everyone.
How's my hair look? Okay, I can't hear anything. Am I plugged in? Say something.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I can hear you.
I just wasn't saying anything.
Well, that explains everything. Well, we're on here talking about, as you noticed, as I came in this evening, it was raining outside. Rain was coming down a pretty good clip, and that's kind of important. Can you explain why that is, Mark?
Well, when we get rain coming down like that, as it evaporates as it comes through the atmosphere, it also cools the atmosphere, which is going to drop our temperatures and maybe give us a chance at a little bit more snow later on.
And it's called evaporational cooling. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. I tell you what, I have gotten so
Hello,
smart.
Donna.
Let's see who we got on here with us. Let's talk to our folks right now. Eric Breaks on, Ann Shelton, Michelle Campbell. Let's see. Chris Beecham's on. Hotel Mario. Barbara Fershone. I finally learned how to pronounce your name. And Donna Tate are on. Good to see you guys. We got a lot of other viewers on as well. So we're going to talk and get right into this now. I don't know what to talk about first. We'll talk weather first, but we do need to talk about the earthquake that just occurred about, well, it was about 4:30. So what is that, a couple hours ago?
Yep.
About an hour and a half.
About that time. Uh-huh.
So, that's kind of concerning. We're at the anniversary of the great 1812. It's 1811, I think, earthquake. And then
1811 and 1812.
That's right. And that was...
started in December and ran through February, I believe.
I believe that's right. In fact, the aftershocks were even worse. But this one right here was a 3.8. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, we've got rain coming down. Let me clear this off. I wanted to find where our temperatures were on here. I'm looking for that little weather barb where we can call that up. You know where that is on the overlay settings, Mark?
It's way down on the port settings, toward the bottom there.
Oh, info and support? Device settings? Cyclone port?
Cyclone port should be.
Well, I don't really see anything there. Hey, Jenny Rogers. Good grief, Jenny. I so appreciate you. She just donated $50 to us, Mark. And really,
well, thank you so much.
We got to get her a decal bad because she has been a good friend of mine for a long time. And I'm very glad to see you on here, Jenny. But thank you so much for the donation. Shane, I'm not hearing the little beeping that comes up whenever people do that. So he's going to work on that.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
Hit the icon that's up to the top left there. Go down to data overlay settings and hit the one that's got a little temperature barb on it.
Okay. Well, see, it says maybe I need to put this detailed display on.
Are you on MMRS or single site radar?
I'm on MMRS, I believe.
Okay, and it'll only do it on single site radar. It won't do it on MMRS.
Well, we'll just change that real quick. In no momento, everyone. Here we go. We'll go to single site. Dave, gosh, Dave has also donated $50. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Have a safe and healthy New Year, Dave. Man,
thank you so much.
I got it. I got it. They're showing up now. I heard the little music in my ear. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's see here. Now let me go up to that since I've got single site radar on. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Now it's showing the temperatures. Yeah, I see the temperatures now. Okay, here we go. Let's zoom in here to St. Louis because that's where this stuff's coming from. 35 degrees. Looks like a low of 33, or maybe that's a dew point. I believe that's a dew point.
If you've got it selected, that's the dew point, but that's pretty saturated air.
Yes, it is. And this back here is where we were seeing. Right now it's on high res. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the winter reflectivity. so we can see where the snow is. Okay, here's the snow back down to the north of Cuba, Missouri. As you can see, the snow mixing in with the rain. So this is not too far off, folks. It's coming. It's 32 degrees and 32 and 32 dew point in Sullivan. So that's an idea of what we're looking at. There's some more up around, looks like Ellsbury, Missouri, and Hardin, Illinois. And let me put it into motion so we can see what direction this is all headed in. Okay, the reason you see it rotating is because the center is right here, just to the west, southwest of St. Louis. Let me pull out here where you can see it a little bit better. You see that circulation? Okay, so the center of the low pressure is right here, and it's going to continue to move off. This is not the main snowmaker for us, so I want you guys to know that right off the top. This is just a harbinger of things to come. I think I want to go back to the main radar where we see everything. So at least we know what the temperatures are. Let's see what we look like here. We're at 46 here in Hopkinsville with a dew point of 43. But it looks like right you go across the Mississippi River, you're down in the 30s for temperatures, and that's because that's where a lot of the rain was. And I suspect these temperatures, you'll see a drop in them here shortly once the temperature sensors catch up to what's taking place. I don't know how often they update those. Maybe once every, 5-10 minutes or so. So we'll see how this plays out. Let me go ahead and go back to our radar where we can see everything. And here we go. So, hey, Connie Kansler, she says hello, and Dave says, great job, Jeannie. And he also says hello to Amy. And he also thanks us. He says, we're very welcome. Andrea Cook. Hello, Andrea. She's on here with us. You guys are doing great. We love you to pieces. I'm glad to see you. We've got a lot of viewers on right now, and this is going to continue as people are interested in what we're doing. I see that, let's try looking at this camera down here in UT Martin, Tennessee. And, I've been meaning to look at this in daytime. They moved this camera. It's not where it used to be. It looks like they moved this to the top of a building, probably one of the UT campuses. It looks pretty good. I think that I can see it raining there. And the temperature there is 40 degrees. So, yeah, we're getting close to getting down into the 30s. I think those temperatures will drop this evening. And I think that
Dave, if I'm looking at the Kentucky Mesonet right now, and we're about 44 here, and it stays in the low 40s all the way over to about the lakes, and then on the other side of the lakes, it starts to drop down in the 30s pretty quick.
So we've got something going on here that's going to help us get these temperatures down, and that will turn us into some snow a little later on tonight. I'm not sure this is the main one. I think this is just a disturbance going by, but I do know that another one comes in tomorrow, and that one will be the stronger one of the two. Let's see here. I see that Edna Smith says hello from Marion. Hi, Edna. And your temperatures ought to be starting to drop somewhat over there. Sandy Gibbs also says, hey, Sandy, I know where you are. You're on a riverboat. Hey, I just got to talking with Sandy recently, Mark. She's a cook on a riverboat.
Uh-huh.
And,
neat.
Yeah, the reason I got to know her, she was living over in Franklin, Kentucky, which is where I have family and everything. I still got family over there. But she has stomped some of the same grounds I've stomped, and I just kind of took a natural liking to her. So I friended her, and we've been chatting a little bit. But, yeah, she's a cook on the riverboat. She goes away for a month and comes back for a month. So I thought, that's a pretty neat job. So yeah. I don't know. I bet she's a good cook, too. I don't know. What do you think?
I bet she is. Working on. Are you talking about riverboat like the
Mississippi River
tugs that run the barges?
Yeah, on the Mississippi River.
Oh, neat. Yeah, those guys need a good cook.
And I've seen some. I did stalk your page a little bit, Sandy, and I saw some of the dishes you were fixing. Oh my goodness, it wouldn't do for me to hang around you very much. I'd get fatter. But some of this is coming out after the. I'm really starting some things after the first year that's going to bring the weight off. But anyway, let's keep going. Deidre Bashir says, finally connected. First time. Good job, guys, from Princeton. Hey, I want to make sure to tell you guys, be sure and subscribe to the page. And they're going to ask you for your email address, and that's okay. You won't be hearing from them. That's just to make sure it's your actual people, and that we're not trying to. Hey, Kelly has subscribed. Remember Kelly?
Yeah,
One of our
remember
formers.
Kelly.
Yeah, we miss you,
Yeah.
Kelly. She says,
We
miss
saw her
you.
in passing the other day when we were out shopping.
Oh, did you? She says, miss
Yeah,
you
just
guys.
enough to say hi.
I hope you both had a great Christmas and have a very happy New Year. Kelly, we appreciate you. I'm glad you welcome aboard.
Absolutely.
You're now a member of the tribe, so I can welcome you to the tribe. It's called Watchers of the Wind Tribe. And we have an email address on this page. If you go to the main page, it'll give you an email. And just send your name to Amy Crabtree, and she'll give you some information on how to go about getting that. Nancy Rogers says, hi, y'all. Hey, Nancy, how you doing?
Hi, Nancy.
And let's see, Nida Oden is on here. She's from Eddyville. Let's see here. Becky Thomas. Hi, everyone. Stay warm. All right, so let's talk about weather. I know a lot of you didn't tune in just to hear me talk. So I'm going to pull out here just a little bit, and we'll look at this, and then we'll talk about some other things as well. What I think is going to happen is we'll see a series of disturbances come through. They're going to be kind of upper level disturbances, which means they're not real deep. And they're going to be a little struggling on the moisture content. Now, they can pick up some moisture. This one right here has picked up some, and that's why you're getting some showers around the area. They're not anything heavy, but it will come down pretty good clip a little while ago. So that is key if you want snowfall, because you want that snow. You got to have the cooler air, and so the heavier or the faster the precipitation falls, the cooler the atmosphere is, which in turn will lower the temperatures, which in turn will also help it turn to snow. So that's kind of all in a mouthful. Now, so I think that other disturbance arise late tonight, or actually first thing in the morning. Is that
Probably first thing in the morning, more toward tomorrow afternoon,
Yeah.
and possibly even into Friday morning.
Yeah, it does look like that it's slowed down quite a bit, and it looks like it's going to take its time getting here, which may be a good thing. Now, the bulk of this precipitation is going to stay along and west of I-65. So if you're watching from over east of I-65, probably not going to get a whole lot out of this. Now, you may get some a little later, but I can tell you, I'm going to show you where I think the greatest chance of seeing at least a little dusting or coating would be somewhere. I'm going to go down here. I noticed it was about the northern half of Christian County, back like that. So this area up in here is going to have a chance to see at least a dusting, mainly on grassy areas. Doesn't mean the rest of you aren't going to see any. It means that that's where the slightly heavier amounts would be. And so that's something that we'll be watching as this all transpires. Now, I would like to say we're going to be on tomorrow, and we will go on tomorrow evening, provided that there is a reason to. If it's still going to be kind of like what it is right now, I don't know. It'd be iffy on whether we go on tomorrow evening or not. And I can't find my mouse. It has just disappeared on me. Let's see here. Where am I?
Mice do that.
Yeah, they do. They get scared. Okay, I found it. Here we go. I always worry Shane whenever I start stuff like this. I say I can't find something. He really perks up and says, uh-oh. But anyway, he's a good, trusted technician. He's sitting right here next to me just to make sure my fingers don't do something I shouldn't. Jerry Haynes is on with us. Says, when does the snow plan on coming in? Well, it'll come in some tonight and some tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon, especially to start redeveloping and picking up. Hey, Nancy, I'm glad to see you. I kind of missed you last time. I'm glad you're on here with us. It makes me feel better knowing that you're out there. So my good friend Nancy Tolliver is on with us. Lisa Sylvie says, if the ground isn't frozen, it won't stick, will it? No, it will. Any accumulation is going to be probably a coating or dusting, mainly on elevated and grassy areas. That would be the most. And I think that we're probably not looking at any more than, I don't know, I'd say a half inch at tops on any accumulation that occurs. But this is the first snow of the season. And so everybody's kind of excited about it. I'm kind of excited about it. But let me tell you, this is just the start. Just the start.
By the way, be careful especially in the morning on the bridges and overpasses, because they will ice up well before any of the rest of the ground will.
They sure will. So you want to be very careful out there, especially going across those bridges. Don't drive like me. Drive like somebody that's got some sense. But anyway, so after we get past this, like I said, this is just the start. And I've been looking, as most of you know, I'm a long-range person. I like to look out, and I get in a little trouble with other meteorologists. Hey, you can't do that. Well, to be honest with you, I've gotten pretty decent at being able to say there's a storm coming and when that'll be, but I can't necessarily tell you what form it'll take. But I can tell you that after this is just the start. And I've looked out at the weekly models, and they're showing several chances of snow coming into our area as we go into January. And in fact, our next one after all this stuff clears would be maybe New Year's Eve and maybe New Year's Day. It looks like right now it's a little moisture starved, so there probably won't be much, to mount anything. But following that, I'm still watching the 4th. That one right there is still showing that it could be a pretty good snow. But you know what? In Kentucky, if it can find a way not to snow, it usually will. But yeah, this right here, it does. Hey, Whitley0808 has subscribed, and welcome to the tribe, Whitley. We're glad to see you. Again, if you want to, you're a member of the Watchers of the Wind tribe. Pretty nice logo. Let me show you guys the logo real quick. Okay. This is the logo. Oops, I can't ever get these cameras just right. Okay, can everybody see that all right? Or am I just... Anyway.
It looks okay.
Yeah, I'm a little crooked, but anyway. Watchers of the Wind, that's the name of our tribe. And we have several items that you can pick up on our online store. It's not quite developed yet, but you can get it through the email that's on this page. Here's the other thing that they... Oh, good grief. Here we go. Let's do it this way. This is a jacuzzi. I did it again.
Cozy.
It is not a jacuzzi. It is a koozie, but it's not a jacuzzi. Oh, good grief. Never mind. I give up on that. I had that problem last time we were on. And then my personal favorite is Watchers of the Wind drinking cup. That is, it keeps your ice cold for a long, long time, or your soup hot or whatever. But anyway. So I just want to let you guys know, when you subscribe, you can get a hold of some of that stuff and go over to the. All right, Eric Brake says, "Oh,
Jacuzzi.
Eric, don't start that again." Good grief, says jacuzzi. It's not a jacuzzi. It's a. Okay, never mind. Let's get on to other stuff. Connie Cancer says, "Yes, I can see it. How do we know if we are members? If you subscribe to the page, you're a member of the tribe." And I value you guys. I value everyone that's on here, even if you haven't subscribed. I'm glad to see you, but you guys. BDC says that's nice. Are you getting jacuzzis for everyone? Yeah, okay. So, who was it? No, I'm not even going to say what Mark said last time. He said something about getting a inflatable jacuzzi and getting it online. I don't think so. So Connie says she's in the tribe. So Connie, yes, send an email to Amy. Amy will get on here in just a second, tell you guys where to find it and how to get to it and all that. And she will tell you how to get some of the merchandise that we have for this channel. And we're going to be on here a lot more. Kelly says, "I'll take 2, please." Okay, Amy, talk to him. She's working on it, so she'll be on here with you in just a second. Okay, now, the other thing I want to talk about is the earthquake. And Shane, I may need your hand over here on this on figuring out where we're going to pull this up at. We're looking. Hang on, everyone. Okay, right there. All right. Now, I'm going to show you guys. Hang on just a second so I can rotate the map. This is a map of all the earthquakes that's occurred since the first of the year. And you can see there has been a lot of them. I think it's well over 600 earthquakes on the New Madrid Fault. That is a little concerning. And what's even more concerning is, if you look up here, this orange one is one that occurred the other day, it's a 2.1 magnitude. Again, that's not real strong. You will feel it, but you probably won't be worried about it. But this one right here in the red, this one occurred a couple hours ago. This is in Arkansas, and it's a magnitude 3.8. Now you start getting damage when it gets to 4. So we're close to having a damaging earthquake there. But so far, so good. I don't know of any reports of any damage that's come in on it yet. Let's see. It was, let's look at the event page. This is 7 kilometers northeast of Etowah, Arkansas. The magnitude was 3.8. Now I gotta figure out how to get back out of this. Here we go. So, as you can see, this is the Mississippi River right here, and here's Kentucky, and a lot of them are occurring right in this area right here. This is the area that I'm kind of concerned about. Now, a lot of people say, well, got a lot of these earthquakes, they're relieving the pressure. No, that's not the case, because this is not a normal fault. This is a weakness in the Earth's crust, and from what I understand from reading about it, it says that eons ago, whenever the continents were separating, this was supposed to separate, and we'd be on lake or oceanfront property. But it didn't separate. So instead, there's a weakness in the Earth's crust right there. And every so often, you have a big jolt. And that's what happened in 1811, 1812. And it's happened since that time as well. I think in the 1960s, there was a 6.3 earthquake around Memphis. And that did some damage down there. We're getting a lot of these earthquakes over around Tiptonville, Ridgely, Tennessee. There's Reelfoot Lake, and incidentally, that lake was formed when that big earthquake occurred, and the Mississippi River actually ran backwards when it filled in the water on this lake here. That area right there dropped in elevation. It just sunk, and so the Mississippi River actually ran backwards, filling in the water there. And there were untold Indian villages along this river at the time, because 1811, 1812, the area was not really highly populated, but some of those places just disappeared, and unfortunately a lot of loss of life there. Also, I've got a book of eyewitness accounts, because during that time, it was the biggest event that occurred in their lifetime. So everybody was writing about it. And so, it's something to be concerned about. Does that mean it's going to happen tomorrow? No, but it could, So my advice on this, and the same thing with most anybody in emergency management, is to be prepared, get an emergency plan, and have a to-go bag, because if the big one ever hits, and let's pray that it doesn't, because if it did hit, this country would not recover in our lifetime economically, because it would just destroy. We would lose the 4 westernmost counties in Kentucky. And I got that basically from sitting in on a briefing from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers when I was doing some work with emergency management a few years ago. And already they say that there is enough energy that it would create at least a 7.3 earthquake if it were to occur today. I don't think it's going to happen like that, but there's going to be these little earthquakes here and there, and you could get a 6-point earthquake. But those big ones, like the one that happened in 1811, 1812, thank God they don't come on very often, and hopefully it won't happen in our lifetime or any time again in the future. But anyway, so I want you guys to see this and to know kind of what's going on. It's just a way of keeping you up to date on the things that's taking place. And as you see, it's not unusual to see earthquakes along this area right here, but it is a little unusual to see one that strong, which concerns me a little bit, that they are growing a little bit stronger as they occur. So we'll watch it and keep you posted, but just remember, always be prepared. You should prepare for any kind of major disaster, and just wanted you to know that. So let's go back and talk about something a little more pleasant, being snowfall. And let me get this back up on radar here just a second. I've got you there, so we're online, but I got to get here where I can see it. Now, here we go. Now, as we talk about this, I do want to look again. Here's a camera right here. just southeast of Nashville. It doesn't have a camera on it, but it does look like the temperature is 53 degrees. It's not going to help much there on telling us what we need to know. Let's look back here in Missouri. Boycom, Missouri. And temperature's at 41 degrees right there. It looks like they got some clearing skies. In fact, they do. You can see the cloud banks over here trying to come back in, but there's stars in the sky there. Well, that's a nice shot, isn't it? You know,
That is. That's a pretty shot.
I gotta admit, I do enjoy seeing these cameras and everything. Brandy Wagon. Oh man, Brandy's on here. I can't believe it. Can you remember? You remember Brandy, don't you, Mark?
Yes, I do.
She says, thanks about the earthquake update, waving from Caldwell County. So Brandy, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I saw where you were a little under the weather recently, but I'm glad to see that you're back to normal, and glad to have you on board with us. Nancy Tolliver wants to know what 4 counties would be affected. Well, he said that it would be the 4 westernmost counties, so I would assume there's Hickman, maybe, I think, is that Clinton County? Well, it's these counties right here to the west. I'd say west of Wingo, certainly Fulton and places like that would be affected. And basically what they say is that if you have an earthquake that is that strong, the soil will actually liquefy. In other words, it'd be like you're walking in water, except because the shaking so much, it's liquefied. So anyway, just letting you guys know, hopefully that never happens. And Brandy says, please send some snow in Princeton. Thanks. And Brandy, believe me, I'd like to send us all some snow. I think everybody would like to see some. And oh, me, Dave is just a character. You know, I wish we'd get him on here with us sometime. He says, stock up on toilet paper and paper towels. Oh, yeah, I know that. In fact, if we get a big snow coming, I'm not going to call a milk and bread alert until I get all my milk and bread. Because if I did that one time and went to one of the local grocery stores, and I mean, there wasn't a gallon of milk, wasn't any, bread, and no toilet paper, and no something else. But, you know, I actually went up to the Walmart broker. I said, where do you have your nuts at? He said, over there where the toilet paper and paper towels are. You have to hope you guys caught that joke. That was a joke, but anyway. Dave's got it. He says, LOL. Chris Beecham says, one good snow and then 75 rest of the year. That's a little warm. That would concern me about severe weather. We don't really want to see that. Linda McElrath, tuning in for the first time, Paducah. So glad to finally hear your voice. Yeah, Linda, you've been a friend. Recently, I think I just got you on as a friend on Facebook. My page has been so full, and I try to catch folks whenever I do have an opening, but there's so many. Oh, my gosh. I've got probably 900 and something pending friend requests, and Facebook won't let me keep, but let's see. I think they won't let me keep but 1,000 pending requests, and they start deleting it for me. So I said, oh, man. So anyway, I try to make sure that everybody that's on there gets a reasonable chance at getting on, you know. But that's the reason we've got this page. You can follow it, and hopefully it'll all work out. Linda, be sure and subscribe to the page. It's they're going to ask you for your email address. Go ahead and give it to them because they're not going to contact you. It won't cost you anything. It's just that they want to make sure that I'm not inflating the figures. What they do is they pay us ad revenue on the number of subscribers we have. So if we have subscribers, they start putting money into the channel, and then we use that to help keep our stuff upgraded and everybody on here to be able to see some of the stuff and technology we have, like the radar and other things. Now, at some point, and what I would like at some point to be able to carry folks that are out in the field live, some of our spotters, I can carry them live now, and they can show you where it's snowing. In fact, I've got one over on the other side of the lake. I don't see Amanda on here right now. She may be working, but anyway, that would be a good thing. That way I can keep you up to date on where the snow is and when it'll get in here. And that'll be when you'll really be able to see the benefits of being on this channel with us. And Elaine Albrecht says, good seeing you. Good to see you too, Elaine. And you guys keep on talking to me. I love being able to talk to my friends on here. And I consider each one of you a friend because you are special, because you're tuning in and you trust me for your weather. And I hope I never let you down. Oh, my goodness. Look at here. Here's Luke Swagger on here. You know Luke.
I see that.
Good to see you, Luke. I'm looking forward to seeing you maybe tomorrow up at your restaurant. Luke is a chef, a master chef, I'd call him. But anyway, Brandy says, Happy New Year, everyone. Donna Lord says, a report for snow and people buy ice cream along with bread, toilet paper, and milk. Yeah, you can bet on that. Barbara Fashone says, nice to see you, Barbara. Kelly Breswell says, got to go. I'll check back later. Kelly, we probably won't be on too awfully long, but as long as we've got folks on here that are interested in what we got to say, then we're gonna try to talk to them. I'm gonna pull out on this radar, and let's look at the national radar just a little bit. Let's see, I'm still on reflectivity. I want to go to the winter type and see if we can find where the snow actually is. Looks like we got quite a bit up here. Now this, I think, let me go ahead and put this into motion. I believe if we see it rotating, it's moving mighty slow. In fact, that seems to be drawn down. Mark, what's going on with that? You got any ideas?
Well, that's a wraparound from the low.
That'd
We
be from
may
this
get a
low
little bit
down
of that
here.
in here as we go later.
Yeah, that means that if it wraps around, it should bring it back around to us. We got a new camera here, it looks like. Dragon Nation, I don't know, but it says it's 33 degrees there in Kansas City. Here's one outside of Wichita. This is Burlington, Kansas. It looks like there's a little snow coming in through there. See the snowflakes flying?
I see that.
But I don't have much in the way of visuals on what's going on there. I know one place I would like to see. I want to go out here to Mount Shasta, which is one of my favorite cameras. This is in California. Oh my goodness. That is a foggy area, it looks like. In fact,
Looks like some good low cloud coming through there.
yeah, and the mountain is actually up higher than this. You just see the tree line, but you can't see the mountain itself. Now, last time I saw it, it was snow covered. Let's see what, you know what? They have changed this camera again. See, you can't see the village as much as you did before.
Right.
39 degrees, but that normally is a really nice shot. And of course, it's still daylight out on the West Coast. This is on the West Coast, and I just thought you guys like to see that. Got some sleet, maybe some freezing rain here in Idaho and Nevada. Again, I don't think it's anything to worry about there. But what we're going to be watching is the polar vortex getting involved. Now, the polar vortex that I'm aware of, that one part of it is right here over Hudson Bay. And if that ever gets involved in our pattern, you're going to see some really, really, really cold air coming in. And it ought to be, I think that's going to happen sometime as we get into January. So we've got the storm coming on the 4th. There is another one showing up on the 8th. And then there's going to be, most of you have heard of the January thaw. That does happen. It is a true thing that does occur almost every year. This one doesn't look like it's going to be as long. It looks like it may last 3 to 5 days, and it's not going to be especially warm. It's just going to be maybe above freezing temperatures. But I think what we'll have to see is, right now we don't see any Arctic air in our pattern right here, which is why we're having to concern ourselves with evaporational cooling, which will enable us to get some snow. Arctic air is entirely different than any air you'll ever feel. It is more intense, it's heavier, it's hard to get rid of when it comes in, and it will always be with the polar vortex pretty much. So all the cold we've got right now is of Canadian origin, and but there continues to be signs that the polar vortex is going to take place sometime in January. A sudden stratospheric warming event, I think, has just begun. And whenever that sudden stratospheric warming event takes place, it takes about 8 to 10 days for that cold air to get down into our area. So we'll be watching for that, because once it does, then all kinds of things are going to happen with our weather. We're going to go into a winter that a lot of you haven't seen for a while. The comparable years that I'm seeing on this is the 1970s, and we all know 1970s, the years, mainly 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. All of those were memorable winters with lots of snow and cold air. That's something we're going to have to deal with. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I think that once we get into February, it's going to be pretty harsh winter type weather. So let's see. Connie Cancer wants to know, does it look like Mount Juliet, Tennessee will get any? Actually, I think you may see some snowflakes, maybe some flurries, but I don't think you're going to get much in the way of a dusting or anything. But you'll see a few what they call festive flakes coming down. Kyle Gibson says, hello, Dave and Mark. Hey, Kyle, how are you doing?
Hello, Cal.
Let's see. Yeah, Brandy Wagon says, me too. We talked at the Cat Owl in Hopkinsville for 15 minutes. Let's see. Cat Owl. Oh, well, the cat food. Yes, yeah, well, the cat food is. I got you. And Dave says, oh, the weather outside is frightful. This fire's... Okay, Dave, you're trying to get me to sing, and that's not going to happen. But I appreciate it anyway.
Dave, I'll answer you the way my granddaughter says it. We say, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. She says, somewhere else.
Well,
she is not a snow lover.
Well, that's just because she likes school too, I think, if I'm not mistaken there. Mm-hmm. But anyway. All right, so do we have any more questions out there? Be sure and send them to me on here. We'll try to answer them. If you need to know the weather in some particular areas, I'll try to answer those as well. Let me see here. I'm going to go down here a little bit more. So we've got some other subscribers. Let's see, I've got 2 over here. They haven't gotten them all listed on here just yet. But come on, guys, be sure and subscribe. I want to tell you, too, I want to give a shout-out to our sponsor, Michael Vance Contracting and Roofing. Michael actually helped to fund this entire operation we have. He's a weather person who joined the Weather Spotter group for a while. His business took him away where he couldn't make the meetings and everything, but he's always been a loyal supporter of the weather. And he's very interested in helping support the community and keeping people safe. But he's also got a roofing company, he does, and he also has the Lakeshore Campground over at the lakes. And so if you
Lakeside.
Lakeside Campground, that's right, Lakeside Campground. So if you guys need any roofing done or anything, I definitely would call Michael Vance because he is one of the best. And I'm not being prejudiced just because I know him and like him, but I know him as an honest and kind human being who really cares about people. And so it doesn't hurt to call. Talk is cheap. So give Michael Vance a call. I think his number's on here somewhere. Let's see here. Ann Jackson says, I've been doing my best on my snow dancing and hopefully it worked. You know, we're going to have to get her to send us a picture of her doing the snow dance. That ought to be pretty nice.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Eric Brake says, looked like we should all be watching for the January 4th storm. Yeah, and you know what? We'll have to watch that little one coming in. It's an Alberta, what they call an Alberta clipper, and basically that's a little disturbance that forms up in Alberta, Canada, and it moves kind of fast. They call it a clipper because it's a type of a fast ship. So they call it an Alberta clipper, and it moves fast, comes down, and then moves on out as well, too. You don't usually get a lot of snow, but you can get, in the wintertime, sometimes you get a quick couple of inches out of it. Usually no more than that. Nina Dunn says, my kids and I are so ready for a big snow. And you know what I'm ready for? I want a big old bowl of snow cream. I have thought about that. And I didn't get one last year, so it's been 2 years since I've actually had to taste snow cream. Now, I'll tell you something else that I'm going to do. I'm going to put together, I've already got it. I'm going to just put it into a format that you guys can understand, but I've got a booklet on snow cream recipes. And I'm in the process of getting it together. Amy's going to have it on the page here before long whenever I get it ready. And probably in a PDF format or something that you guys might be able to download. Or we can get in a hard copy as well, either one. And I'm going to try to make that all happen very soon before we get too much in the way of snow on the ground. I'm going to promise you I'm going to work diligently on that, getting it ready to go. because I got some great recipes. And not only that, I'm going to talk about how is it safe to eat snow. So, we're going to talk about all that stuff. A lot of people say, oh, you don't want to eat the first snow. Well, there's reasons about doing a lot of that stuff. And I'm going to explain all that. And then once I do, it's going to be good. Kyle Gibson says, realistically, when are we looking for the transition? Got to go to work in Nashville at 7. I think you're going to be okay, Kyle. Just be careful on those bridges and overpasses. And Dave says, back to earthquakes. Will that event affect eastern West Virginia? You know what? It could. I know the one it depends on how strong the earthquake is. In 1811, 1812, it rang church bells in Boston. So that tells you how strong it can be. And the thing of it is, our geography here, because we got a lot of limestone and stuff like that, it's not like out west. So this stuff would carry those waves a little bit further out than what it would on a normal earthquake. Now don't forget, this is not a fault. It's what they call a seismic zone. In other words, it is prone to earthquakes, but it is a seismic zone. So yeah, you got to be careful. Don't think you'll get much in the way of damage, but I can tell you in those earthquakes there was one person killed in Louisville back in 1811, 1812 when that earthquake occurred. And that's getting pretty close to West Virginia. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We can't live our lives in fear. You have to try to live life. And in fact, you're not supposed to live your life in fear. You have to go forward and trust that things will work out for you. Put your faith in the Lord and be prepared is the main thing. If you're prepared, Mark, what is the saying you always say about preparedness?
If you're prepared for it, it's less of an emergency and more of an inconvenience.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
and Dave, up in West Virginia, probably you wouldn't get too much in the way of physical damage or anything. The worst effects might be the social effects, because everybody's going to be scared to death of the shaking. They're going to be scared to go across any of the bridges or anything else like that. So it might be a little iffy for a while as far as being out to do anything. But I don't think you'll see that much physical damage up that way, no.
That's true. And I know in Hopkinsville during those earthquakes, we actually fared pretty well. I think the worst thing that happened was Little River turned to sulfur water for a time. That was the main water supply, and it turned to sulfur water, which is not fit to drink. But, thank goodness that's the only thing it had that I could find. That doesn't mean that there wasn't other stuff. I just haven't found anything about that just yet. So, we'll see. So anyway, let's just hope that this is going to be an uneventful January as far as earthquakes go, and we'll try to get through it all. I do want to look at the tropical tidbits just a second here. I want to show you guys the models so you get an idea about it.
Third from the left. Right.
This one?
Yep.
My technician's helping me a little bit. Let's see, we're on the earthquakes again. And we're going to try to change that. Uno momento, everyone. Okay, this is satellite view. Let me see if I can find where the, oops. Well, I'm on the page, but I don't see where the models are.
Yep, across the top, Dave.
Oh, okay. There we go. I found them. We'll look at forecast models, and here we go. This one is the GFS, and it runs, this is the 18Z model. So I'm going to make sure everybody can see this okay, I'm assuming. There's the soundings.
Nice and saturated.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't want to, because a lot of people, unless they're really deep into weather, don't know too much about that. So let me put this into motion. Here we go. And you see, now see where this wraparound stuff is? It's coming back around over us. And that would be January 1st, okay, that was the little clipper system we were talking about. Now, the 4th, I don't see any sign of our storm that we were talking about, unless we're looking at this right here, and it's not coming far enough north to help us any. Whoa, look at this one though. That is on, well,
Should be around the 8th.
yeah, that one right. And then there's the one, all right, let me slow this up a little bit. It's going too doggone fast. I'm going to pause it. Let's just start locally. Okay, here's the one that we're talking about coming up on close to New Year's Eve. That's that little clipper system I was telling you guys about right here. And you see it's not a big deal. It doesn't have a whole lot with it. Not a lot of moisture. Let me see if I can get in a little closer on this. Okay, no, I'm not going to risk it. Okay, but you can see it does have a little spattering of snow there with it. And this would be December 29th at 6 p.m. So what that model shows that there's some snow over us, and then it kind of splitters on out. And that's the way clippers are. They come on through and leave, and then they're done. Maybe that right there is our, that's January 1st. And let's see, this is up to the 5th. Now you can see, look how tight these isobars are here. That is a big wind maker.
Yep.
This
And
is
the thing about the GFS is they've been consistently good at trying to show big storms toward the end of their run when they get out 300 hours or so from their start. But then by the time those events get closer, they're not quite there as bad.
Now this one right here is a big storm. This is on, looks like January 10th. And I don't know, I think the timing's off a little bit on the GFS as well. But that one right there, now that looks like severe weather in front of it, and looks like a big cool down. Uh-oh.
Right behind it,
Let me
yeah.
get back out of this again, sorry. Yeah, that little narrow line right there of ice concerns me a little. Again, I'll be honest with you. I don't see this year as being a year where there's a lot of ice in it. I see it more of a snow or rain event. But doesn't mean there wouldn't be some, but I just don't see this as a big year of that. But that right there is a serious storm. And we're going to have to watch this one really close. It looks like it's going to come almost right over the top of us, and it does. Now, I would prefer to see a track a little bit more to the east of us. And you can see that's a big thumping of snow right there just to our west. And we're going to have to watch this one closely if that, and it does get in here. We do get some snow in here, but gosh, this is so far out. I'm not sure I would trust any of it. So let's see what else we got to choose from. Let's look at the ECMWF.
Michelle Campbell, those 4 counties in the far west of Kentucky that would be the probably the ones to sustain the worst damage in a big earthquake from the New Madrid are Ballard, Carlisle, Hickman, and Fulton.
Yep. I'm sorry, I should have looked a little closer on that. Now this is a strange model. You see this is a freezing line, shows us well, actually, the 500 millibar line is, well, this is a 534. But it does show us in
on
rain.
the ECMWF, Dave, they don't give you frozen or liquid. It's all just
precip. Okay.
depiction, yeah.
So you can see that there's also showing some stuff coming in on New Year's Eve. Let's see what we get here. It's January 1st, 2nd. There's the 3rd. Now there's the storm that I was talking about for the 4th. Looks like it's going to be depressed a little bit far to the south. And then we have this other one coming up. Well, no, that's that New Year's Eve system coming through. So
On Tropical Tidbits, the GFS is the only model that goes way out to 384 hours. The other two, they cut off around 240.
let's look at the Canadian.
The Canadian, you have to select it, but it'll show you frozen and liquid as well.
Okay, let me find that here.
It's up on there you go, top left.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay, rain and frozen. That's what we want.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, this is, looks like January 6th. So this right here is probably the storm we were going to be watching. Let's see if it does anything. That's New Year's Eve right there. Again, they're all showing that system on that clipper coming in here New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Thereabouts, give or take about 24 hours. So that's one we're going to have to watch. There's January 4th.
Yeah. They scoot
Yeah.
that storm to the south of us.
It does, yep. Again, folks, these things can change. Models are just that. They just kind of give you an idea what they what you can look at, but really some of them you have to take with a grain of salt. Let's see, Mark, what other models do we have that looks pretty good? I don't see.
For closer in for us, go over to mesoscale and you can look at the NAM models.
Okay, them 32, 12, or 3.
3 is the best resolution. It's the one's closest in, but it only goes out like 60 hours, I think.
All right, let's see what it does.
Yeah, maybe a little farther.
Yeah, I just don't see how it's going to let me run it, though. Oh, here we go, up here. Okay, this is on that one again, coming up on New Year's Eve. This is the 27th, 28th. And it's still showing that precip hanging around out to western Kentucky, far west.
Yeah.
It's on the 28th, 29th. There you see a little more. That's that clipper system coming in. And it does show that as well. So we've got several models that's showing the same thing. And so that's one that that we can expect. Probably as we get into New Year's Eve, somewhere, like I said, maybe a day this side of it, or maybe New Year's Day. So I would say it's going to be our next chance at seeing some snow in this part of the country. And then, see, I don't see that going out very far. Mark's right. That just doesn't give you a whole lot. Other than just the next few days, that's about it. So
Yep.
anyway, I'm going to go back to our regular radar. And the one thing we haven't done, Mark, let's see, we haven't looked at our local cameras. Let me see if I can find one here. There we go, and I lost Mark, but that's all right. Mark, this is down on the south bypass of Hopkinsville. You can see the streets are wet and everything. So let me go on to a different one. Okay, here we go. There you are, Mark. I got you back.
There we go.
My technician showed me how to do it here. So, okay, now I got it.
Okay.
And then
Now, the streets are going to be wet. Our temperatures are still showing
freezing.
Above freezing in the 40s.
That's right.
It's 43 at the Mesonet site, 42.6 at the Mesonet site here in Christian County.
Okay.
There's up in the upper 30s and so over on the other side of the lakes, like I said. But so our area, all we're getting is just little rain showers and little bits of rain and drizzle. So it's just going to be a cool and wet start to our evening anyway.
Let's look over here at the elevator camera. This is out on Skyline Drive looking down on it. Yeah, they don't really have this one. This is about where the railroad tracks are on Skyline. I think the railroad tracks are right here.
Yeah.
And then you have Kroger up this way. So you have an idea of what it looks like there. Let's try. This is over at I-24 at 68 at Katie's. Thanks to WKDZ for allowing us to use these weather cams and showing that what the conditions are like over there. Looks like it's going along pretty good. Again, you got wet streets, but you see the traffic up on the interstate, up on I-24, moving along pretty good clip. Not a lot of local traffic. It's just fairly calm night. This is Wednesday night? Yeah, Wednesday night.
Yes.
So I thought you guys would like to see this for a little bit, and I'm going to move along here again back to the radar. And it looks like the rain's increased just a little bit over this area. It seems to be picking up some. And we got another little batch coming back here from the west. So we're going to watch this. This is going to go on pretty much through the night. This wraparound stuff gets in here. You see it's starting to pick up maybe just a tad more snow mixture into it. I wish there was one within our camera range where we could see it a little bit better. But they're just out of range of our cameras here. So if they were, then I could show you whether it was snowing there or not. But anyway, so all right, guys, we're coming up on 1 hour on, and it looks like we've got several people still with us, so we've got a lot of viewers on. Guys, I appreciate you coming on here and joining us. I hope that I haven't bored you to death with some of this stuff. Eric Brake says, 38 likes, can we get 40? So he's our cheerleader. Eric Brake out there is our cheerleader. Don't forget to hit subscribe. If you're on this channel for the first time, you want to hit subscribe and hit like. And then I think there's a bell on there. You can hit notifications so that whenever we do come by on again, you'll be notified that we're on. But I just wanted you guys to know that I do appreciate you being on here with us. It's been an interesting time. Christmas is behind us, and now we can all move forward with our lives and put that behind us. I think the world of you. But I tell you what, it's not easy for everybody during Christmas time. You know, if you've had family that's no longer with you, it tends to be bittersweet on the memories, and certainly I've been going through all that, but you know, I'm much better now. I feel great, and you're going to see a different person here soon. When I drop all the weight, I'm going to be saying, you're going to be saying, Dave, gosh, you're sick. You need to gain some weight. You know, they always do that to me. You know, when I lose the weight, they said, man, you lost a lot of weight. You need to gain some. You're looking sick. Okay, so you can't please everybody. All you can do is do what you can. And, you know, a lot of folks, we talk about the wins. You know, I will say wins, and I go back a long way. I enjoy the wins sometimes, enjoy the way it feels on your skin and everything. But sometimes they can get strong. Like, Eric says we got 40 likes. All right. Thanks, Eric.
All right.
I appreciate you, brother. Dave says, we appreciate both of you and everyone behind the scenes. Yes, we do have a couple other folks in here with us. We've got Amy, we've got Shane, and sometimes we have a few more people, but they're not here tonight, not making faces at me or anything. But I wanted to tell you about the wind that, you know, sometimes it gets so strong, they say that it can blow your words away. And so when I said I love you to somebody and then the wind blew it away, they never heard it, but a farmer about 300 miles away heard it. And he sent me a note back, says, well, he appreciated my sincereness in it. He said, I'm just not really his type. Okay, never mind. That was a dull joke. Forget it. I'm sorry. Well, I heard a giggle over from Amy. Amy laughed about it. She's over there laughing. Can you believe that? Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to get something here. I'm looking at a couple of thoughts that I was going to say, but, you know, it's just not a night for the thoughts. I'll save those for another time. I'm going to do some more thoughts. I'm going to make some changes in this page, in this channel a little bit in the coming weeks. We're going to go back to the wisdom stuff a little bit. Oh, Dave got it. Dave's laughing. Okay, thank you, Dave. Oh, me. Mandy Green says, so excited to join for the first time, David. Mandy, I'm glad to have you. Be sure and subscribe to the channel, and that'll help us out a lot. It helps our numbers, and YouTube looks at all that stuff when they go to looking at the ad revenue and stuff that we do. So, yeah, be sure and subscribe and hit like so that you can become a member of the Watchers of the Wind tribe. When you subscribe, you become a member of our tribe, and we call that tribe Watchers of the Wind. I will show you guys one more time the logo, and this is you can get a decal for your vehicle. This is the logo. My fingers don't. Okay, I'm on the wrong one. My finger. I have to remember this is all backwards. But anyway, this is what the logo looks like. Watchers of the Wind, and several have already got them on the back windows of their vehicle. It's always nice to drive down the road and say, "Hey, there's Watchers of the Wind tribe member there." You know, you always have kind of like a little bit of a, I don't know, a brotherhood with them. And so that's the way I feel about you guys. It's really nice to see you on here. But I think, Mark, we have just about informed everybody of everything we can think of. I cannot think of anything else unless you guys have some stuff you want to ask. Now's the time to do it. And yeah, Dave says the logos look better in person. We've tried to get Dave everything because he's been such a loyal. He's been on with us, I think, since day one, and so loyal. He's one of my top super chatters, and so I enjoy having Dave on. Amy, did we ever get him his? What did we get him last? You ever get him his jacuzzi? I mean the koozie.
He's going to be getting the koozie, the hat, and if he will get me his shirt size, we're going to send him a shirt.
Okay, she says you're going to be getting your jacuzzi. Gosh, you did it again. The koozie, not jacuzzi, the koozie, a hat, and working on getting you a shirt as well. As soon as you send her your shirt size, she wants to get you a shirt fixed up. So if you will get with her, Dave, we want to take good care of you. Make sure you have all of our products and everything. And when we get that snow cream recipe, yeah, you're in West Virginia, so you do get snow up there. So I'll have to get you that snow cream recipe booklet once we get that all done. So anyway, anybody else got anything you want to tell us? I'd sure love to see you. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit down, Lord. I swear, I'm going to kill you, girl. Jacuzzi. It is not jacuzzi. It is koozie. Had to say it right this time. That gets me so tongue-tied.
If you're sitting in your jacuzzi getting cozy with your koozie.
Oh, good grief. I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to try. So thank you all so much. Freddie Stites McAndrew says, hi, David. Jennifer Shaver says, I would love one of those stickers. Okay, Jennifer, if you've subscribed, you can get one. Send the email on the page. Amy has the email. She gets that and reads it all the time. She replies, and I think it looks like me replying, but it's actually Amy. So if she says anything bad, it wasn't me. It was Amy saying it. So anyway, but send the email. You can find it on the home page with where it says David Powell's David Powell's Weather and Wisdom. And there's an email address there. Get on there and email us. And okay, there's Amy telling you now what you can do, and she will make sure that you have ways of getting that. I think we charge shipping and handling, something like that. But it ain't much. But it's a nice looking logo. It goes on the back of your vehicle, and it's part Native American because I'm part Native American, and so. Anyway, she says, okay, Amy. She says, thank you. Jennifer, I'm glad you're on here. I hope that you there, Chris Meacham, I swear.
Okay,
my very good friends, Chris Meacham says jacuzzi and laughing about it. So thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. I owe you one, buddy. I owe you one big time. By the way, did you get your sticker on? I'm waiting for Chris to say something. And then we're going to get off here because it's time. It's almost getting to my bedtime.
Yeah, we got an early morning.
Yeah, unfortunately. Mark and I work the same place, so we have to go out and do our job, trying to make sure people are kept safe and happy and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, Don Lord, I swear, girl, you ain't got nothing better to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. And I still haven't seen Chris reply back to us. Crystal Eden says, I missed it again, LL. So are we getting any snow? Crystal, what am I going to do with you? I swear, you always cause me problems. What am I going to do with you? But, yeah, we're going to get a little bit of snow. I don't think it's going to be anything major, but you're going to get to see some snow falling. To start with, you probably have to get up tonight, probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe run outside and look and see if it's snowing. But if you're like me, you're probably going to just wait and get up in the morning when I have to get up. And I'll go out and look out maybe around 4:30 or so. But anyway,
Sweep it off the windshield.
Yeah, it's not going to be anything too serious. I just need to remember I've got one of those remote starters on my truck. And, that's the strangest thing. When I first got that truck, I didn't even know I had a remote starter on it. And I thought my truck was actually haunted for a while there because somehow or another, when I had the keys in my pocket, it hit the remote start and the truck started up. When I was outside doing some work, I thought, wow, my truck started up. There's something wrong with that vehicle. So I went over there and opened the door, couldn't figure out what was going on, and got in it, and then Okay, Chris says, no, I haven't hitting mine yet. Okay, so we're going to make sure that changes, Chris. But anyway, so it turns out that I got a remote start, which I didn't know I had. Anyway, I'm glad of that sometimes these cold mornings. But anyway, everyone, Crystal, did I answer your question? I think we're going to get a little snow. This will go on probably through part of Friday, although I think the temperatures, once this system moves on out of the way, I think the temperatures will rise a little bit, probably change it to rain before it ends. But another system comes in on, Donna says she's going to bring me and you some chocolate chip cookies, Mark. Now I got to take back all the bad things I said about her. What am I going to do?
Of course, when we're trying to lose weight.
Yeah, that's right. Because I am. You're not going to recognize me when I get done. I'm going to be lean, mean, and, well, I don't know about the mean part, but I'll be lean anyway. So it's going to take a while. I didn't get on overnight, but it's not going to get off overnight, but it's going to happen. And, I've got to go through this thing. I've got to change, and that's something I can do, and only I can do it. So it'll be nice to see you guys. You'll say, Dave, you look all right. And I'll say, thank you. But anyway, so our next chance after this, Crystal, is going to be somewhere around New Year's Eve. We just went through and looked at all the models, and several of the models are still showing it. So, yeah, I would say that somewhere around New Year's Eve, maybe even Saturday. We'll see. But so let's see, is that New Year's Eve? Is that the 30th? Is that on the 30th, or is it? There's not a December.
31st.
Okay, so it is a 31st. So
Yeah, Sunday night.
So it might start as early as Friday, go into Saturday, or it goes into Sunday, or even Monday. We're not sure, but because the models kind of vary the times a little bit, but it does look like there is a system coming in that may bring us a little bit more in the way of seeing the snow fly, especially during the daytime. I think the temperatures will continue to cool a little bit. But we're all waiting for the polar vortex to get involved, and when it does, then yeah, you're going to see a lot of things start to happen, and our winter will really take off. So anyway, with that being said, Mark, you got any last things you want to say?
Everyone cuddle up, stay warm tonight, and enjoy your time together. Enjoy the weekend coming up, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, and like I said, I don't know when we'll be back on. If that system looks kind of wild over the weekend, we'll get back on here maybe Saturday, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. But we'll certainly be on here when there's a big storm coming. We'll have to figure that out. But anyway, Thank you all very much. You know that I love you, and let me make sure I'm pushing the right button, and he says I am. So with that, I will say so long, my friends.
Bye, everybody.